Have you ever wondered what Canada and the state of Alabama have in common? You know, that southern state that is known for southern hospitality and college football. Well, it certainly isn't the snowfall. Unfortunately, Canada has now fallen to match Alabama's GDP per capita. That is the measurement of prosperity, how prosperous a community is. The recent reports that have come out have taken an analysis of jurisdictions within North America, splitting out all of the provinces and states, and it's remarkable. Canada now has fallen to match the fourth poorest state in the United States. Over the years, Canadians have been proud that we have been a wealthy country where there's opportunity and prosperity for the generations that have come to help build this country. But over the last number of years, we've seen ourselves fall further and further behind. And over the next number of minutes, I'm going to talk about why that is and what we can do about it. The government keeps saying that things are bad because of COVID, but the interesting point is things have gotten worse in Canada since COVID ended, unlike most other industrialized countries. Let's break this down because the numbers are really quite staggering. At the beginning of 2023, things had fallen 2% from the year previous. This is post-COVID, let's remember. That puts us back in the era of 2017. And things have gotten worse since then. We've seen reduction after reduction in productivity in this country, quarter after quarter, and the projections for the coming quarter are even worse. So why does the GDP per capita even matter? Well, it determines how much you make in your paycheck and if you're getting ahead. Compared to 2019, Canadians are now making $1,000 less per year. But an even more startling comparison is in 2016, Canadians were making just under $10,000 less per year than their American counterparts on average. This year, we've fallen to over $17,000 less. That figure has nearly doubled in the last 7 years of Trudeau's government. And this couldn't be coming at a worse time. Over the last number of years, as Canadians have been earning less and cost of goods are going up, Canadians are making up the difference, putting things on their credit card. And we know that personal and household debt are at record highs here in Canada. These numbers have real consequences. People are struggling and there is no prospect that things will get better until something changes.
The commitment needs to be a commitment to grow the economy, and the budget will balance itself.
But it's not just Canadians that have been racking up their credit card, it's also the government of Canada. And now it's being noticed internationally. The OECD has predicted that Canada will be the worst performing advanced economy over the next 30 years. And without a change, it will continue for decades beyond. And this is all happening at the same time with a backdrop of housing doubling in this country. The cost of mortgages, the cost of rent, the cost of interest have all doubled. Grocery prices have continued to skyrocket, as have the prices of pretty much everything else. Somewhere along the line, we confused being an expensive country for being a rich country. It doesn't have to be this way. So what do? We can take no action, and that will end in disaster. We can do half measures and end up with generations of stagnation where there's no real prosperity for the future. Or we can have opportunity and prosperity for generations to come by taking action and growing the Canadian economy. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be in competition with the poorest American states. I want Canada to grow and to prosper. Canada is positioned to lead the world in the next number of years. We have the brightest minds, we have the most abundant resources, and we have the largest economies knocking on our door, begging for the products that we produce here in Canada. And it seems like the only thing standing in our way is a guy named Justin Trudeau. We've seen policy after policy from this government that has devastated the opportunities that we have here in Canada. And many of these measures have been found to be unconstitutional, been struck down by the courts. But in the meantime, we've seen significant investment flee this country and opportunities lost. And the evidence is in. All of these actions have led to a lower quality of life for every single Canadian. I think we're at a fork in the road, and Canadians have a choice to make. Do we want a future that leads to opportunity and prosperity for generations to come? Or do we want to continue down the same road that has led to economic devastation for families across this country? Making things better takes real leadership and hard work. And I know our Conservative team, led by Pierre Poilievre, is ready to do that heavy lifting to make sure that there's opportunity, growth, and prosperity for the generations that come. We can't continue down the same road that has led to economic devastation and economic collapse in so many communities across this country. Making things better takes real leadership and hard work. It's more than just fancy socks and photo ops.
We got a lot to talk about, obviously. Speaking of Golden Gate, I think you gave me these socks last time.
Unbelievable.
So, maybe someone
Still
did
doing
anyway.
those socks.
Pierre Poilievre and our Conservative team will continue to fight to make life better for Canadians. And as always, thanks for watching.